I'm a bit late today. Can you shut up? Bloody woman's talking over me. I don't know. Yeah, it must have been that last pint that did it. But I'm on the way. I'm going to sort these bow doors out once and for all today. I'm going to get the vents installed. Originally I was going to be using some stainless steel self-tapping screws, but having thought about it and having spoken to a few engineers, they all advised me to drill the holes and tap them myself. So that's what I'm going to do. These are the grills, so I'm just going to put some masking tape around here. I still haven't got a China graph pencil or pen or a scriber, because I need to actually mark this metal and then centre punch it. So I'm going to put these grills are going to be 95 millimeters from each hinge and about 85 mil. I haven't decided yet. Let's do it at 85 from the bottom. So let's get that get some tape on there and carry on. This is just masking tape from Screwfix. Nothing special. The only thing good about it is that it's got a low adhesive capacity on it. Basically when you pull it up it won't lift the paint off. It doesn't matter in this instance, because when I've got a dry fit of these, it's so nice today. I'm going to give these doors a coat of primer. I haven't got any grey primer yet. I'm still waiting for it to come, thanks to FedEx, who are not the best courier service that I've dealt with, but they're one of the few courier services that carry inflammable materials like paint, so I just have to go with that, I'm afraid. Right, there are my marks, so if I place that like that, that should be perfectly square. In fact, let's see if the marks are square first. That would make more sense. Can't do, can I? Oh, I can do it from this side. Hinges in the way. Yeah, they're bang on, look. We'll get there in a minute. There we go. Bloody hinges in the way. Oh, we can do it that way, look. There we go. And I'll do exactly the same on the other door as well, measuring from the hinge. Right. You can actually get a drill. I think it's called a hinge drill, and it's got a sort of countersunk bit on it. And if you put it in, if I was to put it into this hole, it levels the drill up first, and it's actually dead center. I haven't got one of those. I might invest in one, because I'm going to be doing other fittings and things on the boat. I'm going to have to put some hooks and eyes on the outside for the 4 doors, and also possibly for the side hatches. I might have a lift down step. Obviously I'm going to have navigation lights, various things on the outside, so it might be worth investing. Right, all I need now is a centre punch. There's very little tolerance on here, so I want to make sure that these are in the middle, or as near to the middle as I can get it. Another tip from a engineer is when you're centre punching, do it 3 times. If you're using a automatic centre punch, I don't think it's anything to do with look. It just gives a slightly deeper hole, if you like, to so you can align the drill a bit easier. And another thing that was recommended, is that slightly off? No, it'll be alright. Another thing that was recommended was drill with a smaller drill first, and then the final drill you can just go through that. So I'm going to go through this with a 3mm drill, but the actual drill bit I need is 3.3mm. That's a drill I need so I can actually put an M4 thread on here, because I'm going to be using M4 bolts, or screws if you like. I'll be using hex screws, which I'll show you later. The reason I'm decided to use those is there's just less chance of the screwdriver or the Allen key slipping when I'm screwing them in. I don't want to scratch this stainless. So yeah, anyway, you'll see that. You'll notice that these are actually countersunk. I'm not putting countersunk screws in here. I could put what you call pan screws in, but the pan screws that you get, which are basically, a pan screw is a countersunk screw, but it's got a domed top. It's called a pan screw because from the side view it looks like a pan or a frying pan. I'm not going to be using those because I cannot get pan screws which have got a countersunk bit in an M4 bolt. It's probably, or screw, not in that diameter. It's got to be smaller. I've been recommended M4s to hold these fittings on, so what I'm going to be using is a domed screw or bolt. Anyway, I'll show you that shortly. When you're drilling into any sort of metal, go slowly, and then there's less chance of you burning the drill out. Just start it off, put a bit of lubricant on there. There we go, that's one. Lubricant on there, or lube. No, I prefer to say lubricant. Put a little bit of pressure on when you start drilling into metal so your drill doesn't slip. I know there's a centre point mark there, but it just helps a little bit. You can more or less hear when it's gone through, and you can feel it. You can feel it biting, as you would probably a dog if it was biting you. Although in this case there's no yelping noises as yet. That's the 3mm hole. And just go through the side of it. It's hot slightly with a 3.3mm hole. It's very precise, this engineering lock. And engineering, or working with metal, is fairly new to me. Let's just get rid of those burrs. I'm just going to go over these with the angle grinder when I've drilled them out. And your light pressure. There. Right, I should change my drill bits back over while I'm at it, and then I shall pop that 3.3mm drill bit in a safe place. These are Cobalt HSS drill bits, high speed steel, but cobalt, so they do it literally as you've seen. They will go through metal like a hot knife through butter. Right, let's peel back this masking tape and just go over those with a grinder, angle grinder, if there is any burrs on there. I'm not going to put my fingers on to find out, so I'll get metal splinters to get this off. But what I will do, I'll just go over it with a scraper, if we can get this off. Right, put my rubbish in the bin, which I'm learning to do every time I do a job. Scraper, tell you what, we'll use this one. There's no burrs that side, not now, but they probably will be on the other side, so let's just check and have a look. Let's turn that over. Yeah, there are a few, so we'll just get rid of those with the grinder. Job done. Hands are getting really greasy now with that CT90 lubricant, or lube. It's a lovely day down here at the boatyard, nice and sunny. Right, so you can see those burrs have gone. Right, let's start tapping. I'm using a T-type of tap wrench, so the actual tap, it just screws in here. It's got like a mini chuck. It's got a square edge to it, and you just pop it in. It's actually got a, it's actually the reverse, it's a reverse thread on here on the actual chuck, so as you're turning it round, if the chuck did come loose, it would actually tighten itself up. It shouldn't do. This tap wrench is made by a company called Sealy. Makes some excellent tools, and these are actually guaranteed for life. Bit more expensive than the average thing you'd buy from Screwfix. Not that anything is average that you get from Screwfix, I use them a lot, but certain tools, if you spend money on them, then they are going to last you. I'm using 3 different taps, the same ones, M4, which is the is metric 4, so it puts in the outer bit of the thread is 4mm, and the thread will go in probably 0.14 of a millimeter. So I'm going in first one I'm using has actually got a, don't know if you can see that, it's got a taper at the edge, so the actual cutting bit of the thread doesn't start till quite a way up. I'll go in with that, then I'll go in with another one where the cutting thread starts a little bit nearer the top, then I'll go all the way through with the final one, which has got, because these will put it in these will put a coarse thread in there, and this will clean it all up and put a nice even cut in there. So I'm just going to line it up with my eye vertically and just turn it around. You'll feel pressure. Once you feel a bit of pressure, just unwind it and then go back in again. I'm just going to turn you around onto my right because I don't think you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing. You should be able to see in there. The other type of tap wrench you can get the ones that I'll show you. Well, it is one of these. I prefer to use this one, okay, so I can get a better grip on it, but some people prefer to use this type of thing. The advantage with this one is that you can actually, well, you could take that off actually. You can actually take that off and then put a square against your tap to make sure it's going in straight. I mean, I can see that with my eye, but if it was a bigger bore hole I was doing, I would certainly be removing this every now and again and checking it with a square until it had originally gone all the way through. And then once you've done it with the tapered tap, it's going to naturally be square anyway. But they're the two different types of tapping tool holders, if you like. You can use. I prefer this type of tap wrench. So going to go down again, feel it getting tight. Might put a bit of lubricant on here just to help it. While going through steel, remember, just bring it out. You can feel it when it's coming out. You can see the, don't know if you can see those burrs on the edge there. And I'll go in again. My finger under. Yep, I'm all the way through now. So I'll take that out. Totally. Unscrew that. Remember, it's a reverse thread on this chuck. Put the next one in. Keep doing it the wrong way because I'm forgetting that it's a reverse thread. That's right. Let's just drop that in there. There we go. Tighten that up. Hands are a bit greasy because of this CT90 lube. Just tighten that up. Right, now I'm going through with tap number 2. So this hasn't got as much of a taper on the end as the other one. I can feel it tightening, so I'm just releasing it, taking it out again, and then going in again. So what it's doing now, that original coarse thread is now disappearing. So the coarse thread is making an initial track on the walls of the hole as it's going through the steel. This one is cutting it out a little bit finer, and then my final tap will just clean everything out. What I'm doing at the moment, I'll show you in a minute. I'm just putting the taps back. You get used to these. They have got markings on them actually, but my eyesight's too bad to see these markings, but I can actually see by eye which is a tapered one and which is a thick one, and the one in the middle is the one that I use second. So I'm just going to go through this. This is literally going in like a screw now. I'll take that all the way down, or certainly so it's gone through probably 2 or 3 thicknesses of the metal, and then I can take it out. Then I'll show you the screw. These are hex screws that I'm using, round heads. Okay, no burr on there. There's a little bit of a burr on the other side. Again, I'll grind that up. So they're my 3 different types of tap, and I'm going to be using an M4 number 8 bolt or screw, if you like, to go into here. Just watch I don't drop these. These are A4 marine grade stainless steel, which I know I'm not on salt water, I won't be on salt water, but they're one of the best types that you can get. And that just screws in there like that. I'll take that out. Oh, the Allen key I'm using, or the hex key, just fits in there. These are metric. These are a 2.5mm hex key, and they fit nicely into that head. And the reason I'm using the hex key, one, I think those heads look nicer on vents in particular, and the other thing, because it's a stainless steel vent and it's highly polished, more or less looks like chrome. If I was using a conventional screwdriver, if I was to slip, it would scratch it, or it might scratch it. I don't know how to polish up stainless. And anyway, just to alleviate that problem, I'm using a hex screws. These have been around since about 1910, I believe. It was first invented, or the idea of them came around in the mid 1800s, 1850, 1860. But they didn't actually find out how to manufacture them. They got the idea, but they didn't find out how to manufacture them until about 1910 by a company called the Allen Manufacturing Company, hence the name. They're still going. They're now called the Apex Tool Company, or the Apex Tool Group. But like vacuum cleaners adapted the generic name of Hoover, because that was a brand of Hoover, and like when someone's searching for something on the internet, they say, we'll Google it, because Google is probably the most famous type of search engine, even though you might not be using Google. Similar thing happened with Allen keys. So hexagonal keys like this are used, a lot of people refer to them as Allen keys, even though they may not have been manufactured by that company called Allen. There you go, mind of information, this boat building lark. A little tip for you: if you're if you're drilling multiple holes, then I'll go through, such as I am here, 4 holes. I'm going to go through all 4 of them, well, the 3 that are left, with the tap with what we call the tapered flute, as in instrument, musical instrument, flute. and then I'll go through them with the middle one, and then finally with the one just to clean all the burrs out. That way I'm not having to keep changing my tap. I'm lucky because I can actually put my finger under here and feel when the point of this tool has come beyond the metal, and then I know I've gone through enough. If you didn't, if it couldn't actually get under here, or if it was a blind piece of metal, i.e. I was just drilling into a piece of metal and I couldn't get to the other side of it, then you can actually maybe put a bit of tape around your tap or put some engineering glue on it and mark it so you know how far it's actually gone down. Just need a bit of lubricant on that one. I didn't put any on the last one I did because there was already some left on the actual tap. Lots of different types of lubricant you can get when we're metalworking. I've got this aerosol type. You can get the jelly type that comes in a tin. Right, it's gone all the way through. There's various types. Right, let's just put the second tap in. Go through that, and then we're finished. I'm sure you don't want to see that, so I'll do that and then I'll be back right with you. Just make sure there's no burrs on here. There shouldn't be the other side. Right, let's just check. No, because I've already taken those off. Right, let's get the vent on, test fit it, and then we'll get this thing painted. I need to get some degreaser on here to remove this this oil. Some more screws and bolts. I suppose they're screws, aren't they? By definition, a bolt has to have a nut on the end, as in nut and bolt. There we go. Oh, slight mistake. I forgot to put the vent cover on. Right, let's try again. I know it will fit, but let's show you what it'll look like. Find the bloody hole. Where are you? Come on. There we go. One, two. When I eventually fit these vents, I'll put some sealant around before I screw them up. But these are going to be coming off several times through the painting process, so I'm not going to weatherproof them as yet, if you like. Reason you've got vents on boats, well, I want to give you a bit of ventilation, because bodies give off a lot of moisture. It's not just that. One of the reasons, or the main reason, is so it passes its boat safety certificate for the gas inspection bit of the BSS, boat safety survey. Right, they all fit, so let's get rid of those. Get some cleaner on here to remove this grease. take these outside and paint them. I'm now giving them a coat of red oxide. Might as well use it up, got loads of it. Just got one more vent to put on, and then I can put these doors back. Obviously, before I put the any more red oxide on, I'll give it a light sand. Just wanted to get this on for now. These are a bit fiddly to get in, but once you found the hole, they're nothing. And this is the final. This is the final vent to go on the bow doors. Just get these screws in loosely first, and then we can tighten them up. Get it in the thread. That one's in. Why is this one tight? I've cross threaded it. Let's have a look. Nah, yeah, that's okay. I'm just doing the diagonals first. Not that it really should matter. It's gone very quiet down here. There's a lot of angle grinding going on earlier, but now it's stopped. Maybe people have stopped for the tea. It's about well, it's quarter to 6. Saturday, the last Saturday in April the 30th. So there you go. I think those screw heads, these hex type of screws, I think they look far better than posi drives or the slots. Right, let's get these two big bad boys, as they say. Oh, don't I sound trendy? Let's get them on the bow. Oh, tell you what, they're quite heavy, these are. Now there is a knack of getting these on, which I've never mastered yet, which is called patience and luck. I'm quite pleased with those. This is what they look like from the inside. we'll be having this, in fact I've already done the wood, you saw me do that in the last episode. So next job is to get these lined out and then finish the, we'll get the vent on the other stern door and get the electric hookup sorted out on the outside. Now I don't need cables going through the vent holes.